another Brothers Weekly Wrap. This week's edition comes to you after a disappointing weekend for the most part. We had our matches against Yarrabah over in Yarrabah, always a very, very tough road trip, and this week was no exception. Coupled with the fact that the club's basically been decimated with injuries, work commitments, players away for Island of Origin. Unfortunately, the C-grade competition is running separately to the rest of the competition rounds at the moment. So our C-grade boys, they travelled over to Kangaroos to take on the Roos C-grade side, and fortunately enough, the boys had a nice win. So Squiddy and his crew are pretty happy, and it's fantastic to see that even though those guys, were separated from the rest of the club for the day, that they're still able to go over and get the job done. So well done to the C-grade guys, and the day got off to not a bad start. The under-18s, they're also decimated. School holidays, a lot of our remote guys have travelled home for the school holiday break, so they were pretty low on numbers, and they're pretty unfortunate to go down 24 points to 20. They fought pretty gamely, and they probably deserve to get at least a point out of the match, but unfortunately there can only be one winner on the day, and that was Yarrabah, so kudos to them. And back to the drawing board for our guys that ended a pretty healthy 7-match winning streak as well. So those guys will battle tough over the next 2 weeks until everyone gets back from holidays and they're back at full force, but no doubt they'll finish the season with a flurry. Reserve grade, disappointingly had a number of guys just not show, which is very disappointing. I've got a feel for Blondie and the rest of the guys that took the field that day. When you rely upon your teammates to be turning up and taking the field with you when they don't manage to uphold their end of the bargain, it's pretty poor form, and it's certainly not something that we want to see again happen within the club. In saying that, they provided an opportunity for a number of under-18s to step up. Ezekiel Sagigi and Jorel Hodge, also with Corey Child, they've become quite adept at backing up to play reserve grade so far this year. They've done it a number of times, and they got through a amount of work again on the weekend. A couple of other guys stepped up too, which is fantastic to see. Unfortunately, though, experience or lack thereof sort of told in the end, and despite a really, really tight first half and half-time scoreline, Yarrabah proved far too strong in the second half and skipped away to a pretty comfortable win. It's happening at the moment, but in saying that, we still managed to get a good side on the paddock in A-grade. Unfortunately, we weren't good enough on the day, and Yarrabah deserved their win. When you travel over there, you always have to be your best, and unfortunately, our best on the day wasn't quite good enough. The game was there to be won at a few stages there, especially in the second half. We're out to about a 24-16 lead, and unfortunately, in the last 15 minutes, Yarri were able to capitalise on a couple of little errors and fortunate calls to get over the line and get away with a pretty heartbreaking loss for us. It was a pretty important match. It doesn't really leave a lot of breathing space for us for the remainder of the year in our race for the finals. We've got a pretty tough run. We've got a couple of decent sides, beginning with Innisfail this week, who are certainly the benchmark of the competition in what really will be a must-win for us. Basically, if we lose that game, we can miss the season. Goodbye for the remainder of the year. And what was great to see on the weekend was young Ezekiel Sagigi. He's one of our under-18s players. He's showed a lot of promise all year. He's been utilised by Mondi in a number of reserve grade sides. He's always keen to put his hand up. Can't get enough of his footy, and it was a good thing because on the weekend Zeke played a full game of under-18s, played 3/4 of a game of reserve grade, and he was then forced to back up and he made his A-grade debut on the weekend and had a very, very good game. He got across the stripe during the match, and it was just fantastic to see a young guy make the most of his opportunities, and he'll be rewarded this week with a starting berth again in the A-grade side without having to play the preliminary matches beforehand. So it'll be nice and fresh, so expecting big things, and congratulations to Zeke. Until next week, hopefully we all have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next time. Go the Fish.